All right, this said it was starting at 11, but no, they started earlier than that. So let me.
And counsel, you may begin when you're ready.
How far behind are we? They're 13 minutes ahead of us.
Good morning, Ms. Mendoza.
Good morning.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury and spell your last name?
Brooke Mendoza, Mendoza.
Thank you. Ms. Mendoza, where do you work?
I'm an investigator with your office.
How long have you been there?
I've been with the office since February of 2013 and an investigator since January 1st of 2014.
Okay. And generally, can you explain to the jury some of your roles as an investigator?
I review discovery, I interview witnesses, I request records, do subpoenas, evidence viewings, scene views, many, many things.
Thank you. In the course of, I guess, your role as an investigator, have you worked on Ms. Rodriguez's case?
I have.
And as part of your job duties as an investigator for Ms. Rodriguez's case, did this entail going to an evidence view?
Yes.
And can you explain to the jury what an evidence view is, where we go, what are we looking at?
You go to the department that did the investigation on the case, and they have every piece of evidence that they've collected, and we review all of those items.
And when we review those items, is it the defense team and then some representative from the Greeley Police Department?
Yes.
And is that representative from the Greeley Police Department usually the individual who is handling the physical evidence?
Yes.
And then do you take photos of those?
I do.
So I want to show you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit N, OO, and PP.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, permission to approach?
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Mendoza, feel free to look through those and tell me when you're finished.
Yeah.
Okay. Do those photos look familiar?
Yes.
Were these photos that you had taken in the evidence view?
Yes.
And are these photos, I suppose a little redundant, but of evidence that you saw in the evidence view?
Yes.
Okay. Do these look fair and accurate to what you had seen when we were at the Greeley Police Department?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, we would move to admit NN, OO, and PP.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will admit into evidence exhibits NN, OO, and PP, and you may publish at your discretion.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Mendoza, so looking behind you, is this defense NN?
Yes.
Okay, and here, can you just kind of explain what we're looking at generally?
This is the bag that the department stored the evidence in and sealed. The red tape is the seal. There's a date that marks the date that they sealed it. And then the white tab, or the white tag in the middle indicates what's inside of the bag.
Okay, and if you can see, and I can zoom in, or if the photo helps, it says like at the top what is in the bag itself.
Yes.
Okay, and does this say head area debris?
Yes.
So I want to then look at OO, and I will publish that. is this OO?
Yes.
Okay, and I think maybe yours is just on its side.
Yes.
Okay, and so is the OO fair and accurate to what we saw in NN? Of what is inside the bag?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And so what we're looking at here is debris, assuming, right, from the Greeley Police Department that they had collected inside Mr. Dickerson's home from around where his head was.
Yes.
Okay. And do you know that this is, I mean, how do you know this? Based on the label as well as your review of discovery?
Yes.
Okay. And at the kind of, I guess, singled out here, we see something that's like lighter color that isn't like the dark next to it. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. What is that? What is that lighter colored piece?
It was a piece of glass.
Okay. And how do you know it's a piece of glass?
By viewing it, I could see that it was a piece of broken glass. We turned it and looked at it, and it was clear in color, a little thicker of a piece, and was a piece of glass.
Okay. Now I want to show you PP as well, just similar. All right, is this what you see as PP?
Yes.
Okay, and is this the same piece of glass that we saw in double O?
Yes.
Okay, it's just kind of like a closer up.
Yes.
When you were looking at this, did this piece of glass look more like a clear piece of glass that might have been dirty or like a dark broken bottle?
It appeared to be a clear piece of glass.
When you were doing the evidence view, did you, especially in this area, in this bag, would you agree that in the bag itself that we were looking at in NN had a lot of like debris in it?
Yes.
Okay, more debris than what was captured just on those photos.
Yes.
And were you able to shift through that debris?
Yes.
Okay, did you see any other dark broken pieces of glass?
No glass.
Did you see anything that would resemble a broken Budweiser bottle in the head area debris?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Mendoza.
All right, thank you. Any cross-examination?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
So to be clear, that's the one bag of limited debris around where the head was generally found, right?
Yes.
You do understand there's an allegation in this case that the body was moved, correct? You
Yes.
understand that, right?
Yes.
And so you saw the other photos of the scene with the very deep debris and around the couch and all those areas. Did you review that debris?
I can't say.
I'm asking, did you go over all of that?
In the house?
Correct.
No.
Okay. And so what I'm saying is those other areas around that, you don't know about that glass, do you?
I do not.
And so you would agree with me that if the body was moved in this area, that the area that you looked at in that bag would not be the area where the head originally was, if it was moved, correct?
Pause for speculation.
And I'm sorry, give me just a moment here. I'll overrule the objection. The witness can answer if she knows.
You would agree with that, right?
It could. I can agree with you, yes.
You can't agree. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Briefly redirect.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Mendoza, did you look at other debris during the evidence view?
I did.
Okay. When you reviewed discovery as well as what you saw in the evidence view, did it appear that the Greeley Police Department had put a lot of debris that was found in the home into like empty paint cans?
Yes.
Did you go through all of those paint cans?
Yes.
Okay. When you were at the evidence view and you were shown well, I guess first let's start off. When you were prepping for the evidence view, do you have a list of what you're going to see?
Yes.
Okay. And some items on the list included debris.
Yes.
Some items on the list were not debris.
Correct.
The items that included debris you looked through.
Yes.
Okay. The items that the Greeley Police Department had that they considered debris that was collected from the home, you looked through.
Yes.
You never went to the home to collect any debris, correct?
I did not.
That's also not part of your job, is it?
It is not.
Okay. And all of the debris that you looked at the Greeley Police Department that they had put into evidence, did you ever see any type of dark broken glass?
No.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mendoza, you can leave the witness stand. Thank you, ma'am. The defense may call their next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could I just have one moment?
Sure. Can you give those to the court reporter, please? Thank you. And I'm sorry, Mr. Trujillo, your next witness?
Karen Alfaro.
All right, thank you. Ms. Alfaro, before you sit down, if you could raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, thank you, ma'am. Go ahead and have a seat. And Ms. Trujillo, you may begin when you're ready.
Good morning, Ms. Alfaro.
Good morning.
If you could please introduce yourself to the jury and state your last, or spell your last name.
Karen Alfaro, Alfaro.
And Ms. Alfaro, do you know Stacy Rodriguez?
Yes.
How?
We're friends
Okay. How long have you guys been friends?
since 7th grade.
Okay, so a while.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself close friends?
Yes.
And have you guys kind of stayed in close contact, I suppose, since middle school?
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk about a specific time. Do you ever recall being at your cousin's house and Stacy had come to the front door when you were at your cousin's house? Do you happen to remember this one time?
Where she came in knocking and she was bleeding.
Okay. And do you remember if this was in 2021?
I don't.
That's okay. Do you remember if this was around the time that Stacy and Hosanna were together?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware that they met, around late 2020, early 2021?
Yes, because we used to work at JBS together, me and Stacy. We used to work in the cafeteria, and then I quit the cafeteria and Stacy stayed, and then that's when she started seeing Hosanna.
Okay. So did you ever meet Hosanna?
Not sometimes, briefly when her and Stacy would come around.
Okay. You said you all worked in the kitchen?
Yeah, just me and Stacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever use bleach when you were in the kitchen?
No,
No, you never cleaned with bleach?
no,
Okay. Do you know if Stacy is allergic to bleach?
no,
You don't know?
no.
Okay, that's okay. So I want to talk about the time that Stacy had come to the apartment. Was this, were you at your cousin's apartment at the time?
Yeah,
Okay. Were these apartments on 23rd and 16th?
yeah.
So 23rd Avenue, I think 16th Street?
The corner, yeah.
Okay, is it called the Corner Apartments?
No, they're on the corner of 16th and
I see. Okay.
yeah,
Did you live there or was it just your cousin?
just my cousin.
Okay. And you just happened to be there and you recall one time within the span of Hosanna and Stacy being together that Stacy had come to the front door, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And when Stacy had knocked on the front door, can you describe what she looked like to you?
Her, her bottom half of her face was bloody.
Okay. You say one half of her face. What half of the face was that?
Her bottom half, her nose and down.
Okay.
It's bloody.
When she came and saw you, how was her demeanor? Can you explain if she appeared nervous or panicked or calm?
She looked kind of scared.
Okay. Was she by herself?
Yes.
And did she tell you what happened?
Objection, hearsay.
Any response?
Present sense impression and excited utterance.
At least right now, I would sustain it, but if you want to lay some additional foundation, Ms. Trujillo, go ahead.
Okay. When Ms. Rodriguez came to the door and, Stacy knocked on that door, did she immediately tell you what happened to her?
Hearsay.
I'll allow this question, and ma'am, she's not asking what she said, she's just asking about the time frame. You can go ahead and answer.
No, she didn't really tell us. We just asked her like what happened, and that's when she told us.
Okay. And that was right when you saw her?
Yeah.
And were you asking what had happened because you are seeing her face bloody?
Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, again, I'd be asking to proceed under the excited utterance and present sense impression.
All right, Mr. McCormick, same objection?
Same objection, self-serving and lack of foundation.
Self-serving hearsay does not exist.
I will deny as to the objection as hearsay generally. I don't believe the foundation has been laid for the exceptions laid out by the defendant yet.
Okay, so sustained.
Yes, this is.
All right, well, Ms. Alfaro, I want to show you 3 photos, okay?
Okay.
Judge, I do have an objection to that.
To the photos?
Yes, sir.
Can you come on?
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Alfaro, I'm going to show you what's been marked as UU, VV, and WW, okay?
Okay.
Just look through these photos. Don't explain them. Just take a moment to look through them, okay? Okay. Do you have a chance to look through those?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, I'm sorry, can the parties approach one more time?
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Trujillo, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just gonna grab these. Okay, so Miss Alfaro, when you looking at those photos, when Stacy had knocked on the door, is that what her face looked like?
Yeah.
Okay. Were there other times, I guess specifically when we're talking about this incident, right? When Stacy had knocked on the door when you were at your cousin's apartment, those photos, does that look like then what she looked like when you saw her at that door?
No, she was like more bloody than what the pictures are showing.
Yeah, okay. Does it look like those injuries are the same injuries that she had when she showed up at the door, even if it was less bloody?
Yeah, the nose, yeah.
Okay, okay. And so those photos, were those taken pretty soon after she showed up?
No,
No, when were those photos taken?
I'm not too sure because I left.
Okay,
I was mad, so I left.
okay, okay. Understand. Were you mad because you saw her like that?
Yeah.
Okay. But those photos look consistent with what her nose injury had looked like, right? Maybe just some blood wiped away?
Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, I again move to admit.
Judge, I'm going to maintain the same objection.
All right, no, sure. Noting the state's previous objection, I will admit into the record, and I'm sorry, can you give me the letters again?
Yes.
U, V, V, and
WW.
okay, all right, thank you. The court will admit into the record U, V, V, and WW, and you may proceed, yes, you may publish and you may proceed accordingly regarding our bench conference.
Thank you. I'm just going to take these for a moment.
Okay.
Okay. I want to start with VV. So, Miss Alfaro, does this look like VV?
Yes.
Okay. And so is this what Miss Rodriguez had looked like when she showed up at your cousin's apartment?
Not like her face was more bloody than that. She probably they were cleaning her up after I left and she smeared it, but it was like coming down really bloody.
Okay. Can you explain what the blood looked like on her nose when you saw her?
It was just coming out
Is it gushing?
no, not gushing, just
It was just bleeding out of her
Yeah.
nose. Okay, okay. Okay. I'd like to move on to you. Miss Alfaro, does this look like you to you? The same exhibit?
yes.
Okay. And is this still the same injuries that we were seeing in the previous photo?
Yes.
Okay. And we can see at that time, does it say May 25th, 2021 at about 3:02 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay. And finally, I'd like to show you WW. Okay. Okay. Now, does this look like the same WW that you have in front of you?
Yes.
And is this the same injuries that we saw in the previous two photos?
Yes.
And do these look then what Miss Rodriguez had looked like when she came to your cousin's apartment?
Not with the smeared blood, but
It was a little bit more bloody.
yeah.
Do these photos look like she had cleaned up a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, do you see the date at the top of May 25th, 2021 at 3:15 a.m.?
Yes.
And do you agree that the other photo is from 3:02 a.m.?
Yes.
Just have a few more questions for you, Ms. Alfaro. You said that you left because you were angry
Yeah.
about what you saw. And when Ms. Rodriguez got to the door, you asked her what happened? And what did she tell you?
She said that her and Hosanna got in a fight and Hosanna started hitting her.
Okay. And were you under the impression at the time that Stacy and Hosanna were living in the same apartment complex as your cousin?
Not Stacy. I thought she was still living with her brothers, but not with Hosanna at the time.
Is it your understanding that Hosanna was living at those apartments?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the same apartment complex as your cousin?
Yeah, same but different like buildings.
Okay. Okay. But same area. Okay. One moment, please.
Sure.
Ms. Alfaro, you mentioned that you all were working in the kitchen before.
Yeah.
Okay. What department did you move to JBS?
I didn't move to any department. I quit.
Okay.
When I was still working in the kitchen, I quit. I was like there for like 2 months and I quit. I didn't move to any other department.
Okay. What department did Stacy go into? Sanitation, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if in that, did they use bleach? Were you aware of that?
I don't know what they do in sanitation.
Okay. Totally fine. Thank you. All right. Nothing further. Thank you, Ms. Alfaro. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Any cross-examination?
There's no cross-examination.
All right, thank you. Ms. Alfaro, you can leave the witness then, ma'am. Thank you. All right, the defense may call their next witness.
Can we please approach for timing?
Sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there are some legal matters I need to address with the attorneys. I'm going to send you back to the jury room. I think this will be relatively brief. So if you can just stay in the jury room and then we'll call you right back in as soon as we are done with that conversation. I want to remind you that until the trial is completed, you must not discuss this case with anyone, either in person, using the internet, or by any other means. This includes members of your family, people involved in the trial, other jurors, or anyone else. If someone approaches you and tries to discuss the trial with you, or if you see or hear anything about it, even accidentally, please let me know about it immediately. You must not conduct any research, undertake any investigation, or otherwise obtain information about the case from an outside source. You must not read or listen to any news reports or internet information or other electronic sources about the trial. If there has been or is any news coverage of this case, you must completely disregard it. Your verdict must be based solely on the evidence presented in the courtroom and the law as I instruct you. And finally, it is especially important that you do not form or express any opinion on the case until your deliberations at the end of trial. With that, we'll be in recess for a few minutes. Please rise for the jury as they leave. All right, thank you. Please be seated. All right, so Ms. Rodriguez, your attorney has advised me that this is an appropriate time to revisit with you the issue of your choice as to whether or not you want to testify or not testify in this trial. Now, yesterday I went over what's sometimes called a Curtis advisement regarding those rights. Do you recall that advisement, Ms. Rodriguez?
Yeah, I do.
And I'm sorry, ma'am, you say that yes, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And Ms. Rodriguez, do you need me to go over that advisement with you again, either in whole or in part?
No, it's okay.
Okay. And do you have any question for me about those rights at this time?
No.
Yeah, we're just going to ask for, after this, just a break to check in. And Mr. Perelia offered to step out of the courtroom. So we can do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you needed a break. So we'll go ahead and clear the courtroom apart from the deputies. Ms. Rodriguez, I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak with your attorneys. And then counsels, will you just let my staff know when we're ready to come back in? All right. If everyone not associated with the defense team or the sheriff's department will please leave the courtroom.
I will. I just need to save this and then I'll go.
Sure,
I'm working
that's fine.
on jury instructions now.
All right, I'm going to see if I can skip ahead a little bit since we were 13 minutes behind them. All right, we're caught up now. This is interesting.
Will you put the audio on? Okay. All right. And then Jenny, just let me know when you're set up there. Are you good? Okay. All right. We are back on the record in 21 CR 2296, People of the State of Colorado versus Stacy Rodriguez. The parties are present as previously captioned, and we are outside of the presence of the jury. Ms. Devereaux, Mr. Trujillo, is it appropriate for me to continue with the Curtis inquiry?
Yes.
All right. So, Ms. Rodriguez, I am about to inquire as to whether or not you are choosing to testify or choosing not to testify in this case. It's my understanding that you had a chance to speak to your attorneys about this issue. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did.
And do you need any additional time to speak to your attorneys?
No, I don't.
All right, thank you. With that, Ms. Rodriguez, can you tell me what your decision is? Do you choose to testify or do you choose not to testify?
I choose to testify.
You choose to testify? And is anybody forcing you to make that decision today against your own free will?
No, they're not.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I do find that your decision to testify in this matter has been made knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily.
All right, sorry if it's loud. I have to
Respect
unmute
that
myself.
decision.
I'm
Do we
shocked.
need to address anything else before we bring the jury in and resume from the defense? All right. Anything from
I'm
the-
shocked.
All right, we'll bring
I
the
didn't think
jury
there
in
was
and get
any way. Well, maybe I'm right then about Hosanna's part, and she's just gonna put it all out there. Wow. I mean, that was just a major curveball. I didn't think that there was any chance. Very interesting.
All right, thank you. Please be seated. The defense may call their next witness.
Is it now?
All right, thank you. Ms. Rodriguez, if you'll please come forward.
This will probably be the last one, Jeffrey. So she'll go, and then closing arguments. I'm not sure they'll
And,
fit it all
ma'am,
today,
before you
but
sit down, if you'll please raise your right
we'll
hand.
see.
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, thank you, ma'am. Go ahead and have a seat. And Ms. Trujillo, you may begin when you're ready.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Rodriguez, do you have water up there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to just kind of tell us how you're feeling sitting up there right now.
I feel nervous.
Nervous? Okay. Are you scared?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you scared about?
I just have a lot of anxiety.
And Ms. Rodriguez, I'm sorry, can you bring the microphone a little bit closer to you? It's a little hard to hear you.
Okay. You have a lot of anxiety, you said?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about what?
Maybe just because there's a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people watching you?
Yeah.
A lot of people going to listen to what you have to say?
Yeah.
And that makes you nervous?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you testifying?
So the truth can be out.
Is that important to you?
Yeah, it is.
How come?
Because it's what's right.
Now, of course, you've been sitting here for the last 2 weeks. You've heard a lot of evidence. I know that you were aware of your own case, and you heard Miss Varela testify, right?
Yeah, I did.
How did it feel to hear her say things against you?
I feel like it was like a lot of emotions. Like I was like sad and like disappointed at the same time.
Disappointed?
Yeah,
What are you disappointed about?
because she wasn't telling the truth.
And I want to get into the specifics right, of what you believe that she wasn't telling the truth about. So we will get there, okay?
Okay.
Have you been in the Weld County Jail since November 2021?
Yes, I have.
Okay. When was the last time you saw Miss Varela?
I don't remember exactly when our last court appearance was, but it was in court.
Okay. More than a year ago, you think?
Yeah, definitely. It was maybe like around 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you nervous to see her?
Yeah, I was.
How come?
Because I feel like she's like what, like from like obviously an experience like that. Like I feel like she's what like just seeing her is like brings everything, you know.
Bring everything back?
Yeah.
Back to October of 2021?
Yeah.
Have you ever not been able to think about October 2021?
No, not really.
So seeing Hosanna kind of, did it add that additional component to what you've already been dealing with the last 4 years?
Yeah.
Was it a hard decision for you to get up here and share your story with the with the jury?
In a sense, yeah.
Okay. How come?
I feel like it's more because I have like a lot of like social anxiety, but like, yeah.
Okay. I think it's important for the jury to hear kind of what that social anxiety looks like from you, because you are going to be sharing some details. So tell us kind of, or tell me when you get anxious, do you get quiet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you sometimes laugh?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Do you laugh maybe at times? Is it just kind of the response to the anxiety?
Yeah, it is.
Not necessarily that you're laughing at something funny?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay. Any other way where you feel that that kind of anxiety speaking in front of people shows, besides being quiet and maybe laughing?
Not really. I feel like that's
the basis?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about kind of your social anxiety in, 2020, 2021. Okay. First, before we do that, can you tell me around the year that you met Hosanna? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was like 2020.
2020. Okay. And did you all meet working at JBS?
Yeah, we did.
So 2020, then, we're here for 2021. You'd agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share kind of what that social anxiety was like at the time that you first met Miss Varela and then, into the fall of 2021? What was it bad? Was it
Yeah, it was a lot worse then.
a lot worse than it is now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How was it worse?
Like I feel like I just wouldn't talk at all. Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a social person at that time?
No.
Did you have a big group of friends?
No.
Have you ever really had like a big social circle?
No.
Were you pretty close with your family in 2020, 2021?
Yeah.
Okay. We heard, obviously, I'm sure you've also heard sitting in here that kind of like where you were living at the time. So did you live with your family in 2020?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Who did you live with?
With my mom and my brothers.
How many brothers do you have?
I have, well, they lived there. There was only 2, but I have 4 brothers.
4 brothers. Are you the youngest?
Yeah, I am.
How old were your brothers when you were living at home with them in about 2020? If you can remember.
I just remember my youngest brother. He was about 23.
23. Okay. Okay. And you were how old in 2020?
I was 18.
18. Okay. Had you ever, prior to meeting Miss Varela, Hosanna, ever lived by yourself?
No.
Okay. Had you always lived in that same house?
Yeah.
In 2020, when you met Hosanna, you're working at JBS. What was your position at JBS at the time?
So I first, when I started work, when I met her,
Or like, no, when you first started working at JBS and you met Hosanna, what department were you working in?
so when I first met Hosanna, I was working in COVID sanitation.
What did that entail?
We would use like cleaning supplies to like clean like the whole building and stuff like that, like inside and out.
Okay. And Hosanna had talked about her working in the rendering,
Yeah.
and you never worked in rendering.
Not really. Like they would try to send us over there to help out, but it was always cold, so
Didn't like it.
no.
Okay. So the COVID sanitation, what kind of cleaning supplies did you use?
Bleach. There's like another one, but it was like in a fog machine, so I don't know what was exactly in there.
Okay. Are you allergic to bleach?
No, I'm not.
Do you know why Hosanna would say that you were allergic to bleach?
I have no idea.
Okay. Besides the COVID sanitation and cleaning with bleach, have you ever used bleach before?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
My sister-in-law, she would make me like wash the dishes with bleach, so to make sure they were extra clean and stuff. And then obviously like laundry, and then my mom sometimes uses it on the floor when she mops.
Okay.
So I would mop.
Been around a lot of it.
Yeah.
Did you ever use it for like your own personal items?
For my shoes.
Tell us about that.
Cause I have I like white shoes and stuff like that. So when you clean them, it just gets cleaned a lot better with like if you scrub them with soap and bleach.
Okay. Tell me if you don't remember this, but throughout the trial, we saw some photos that the prosecution had shown. I think this was when you were outside that West Point's bank and you were wearing white shoes.
Yeah.
Is this kind of what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go into a little bit more about, how you met Hosanna, your kind of relationship and how that developed. But I want to pause real quick. Have you and I talked a lot or before about what you said happened on October 2nd and October 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you spoken with the defense team before? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's okay. Have we had a lot of conversations about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you and I go over the fact that you might testify?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Did we go over the questions that I would be asking you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I ever tell you what to say?
No.
Did I ever tell you to change your story?
No.
Did I ever tell you to say something different?
No.
Did I ever tell you to say you're going to have to say this?
I'll allow the question.
Did I ever tell you that you would have to say this because Miss Varela said that?
No.
Okay. And we're talking about 2021, and you heard about Miss Varela in the proffer looking at some of the discovery beforehand. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen all the discovery as well in your case?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you read all the police reports or seen a lot of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you looked at photos?
Yes.
Have you looked at surveillance videos?
Yes, I have.
Do you feel that you have a pretty good grasp on what the prosecution is putting against you?
Yes.
Okay. When we were sitting throughout this trial and you're seeing a lot of the evidence and on that table, everything that the prosecution has put forth, was this your first time seeing any of that stuff?
I seen it in Discovery.
Okay, so you have seen this before. Did you watch Hosanna's proffer before?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and that was 7 hours. Was that 7 hours?
A little
About?
bit over, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay. So today when you're testifying and you're telling the jury, your story, is that coming from what you believe to be true?
Yes.
Give me just a second. I'll sustain that objection. Ms. Trujillo, if you want to rephrase. Sure.
Are you testifying from your own personal knowledge?
Yes, I am.
Anything that we've heard over the last 2 weeks, has that influenced what you might tell the jury today?
No.
Has anything you've heard over the last 2 weeks changed what you remember to be true?
No.
Okay. So let's go into you and Hosanna's relationship, okay?
Okay.
So you all meet at JBS. Did it start as a friendship?
Yeah, I did.
All right. How did you guys become friends?
We had a mutual friend.
At JBS?
Yeah.
Okay, that introduced you guys?
Yeah.
How did you all kind of start hanging out while at work?
Well, we started at first like eating lunch together, so we would like take our lunch when she would take hers. So like, yeah.
Okay. Was there a point where you started to have more feelings for her than just a friendship?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you might not, I mean, again, years ago, you might not remember exactly when that changed for you, but do you kind of remember how long you all were friends before you started to develop feelings for her?
A couple months, I believe.
Okay. When you guys started seeing each other versus just kind of like being friends, did you start hanging out more?
Yeah.
Did you all hang out? Did you spend most of your time with Miss Varela?
Yes.
Okay. So once you guys kind of started dating, whether or not, well, did you ever put a label on your relationship?
No, I didn't. No.
Does putting a label on your relationship make you feel kind of uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like I'm not really like open with stuff like that.
Okay. What do you mean?
Like being with girls.
Okay. Okay. Do you date men?
No.
Okay. Have you only ever dated women?
Yeah.
Okay. But still, is it kind of the public relationship isn't something that you really jive with?
No, it's not.
You and Hosanna did you all spend most of your time together?
Yeah.
Did people know, in your opinion, that you all were together?
I believe it was pretty obvious, yeah.
Okay. When you and Hosanna were together, were you seeing other people?
At the beginning, there wasn't really like, so I thought, yeah, it was, but then
Did you stop?
Yeah.
Okay. And then throughout your relationship, when you were really, like, I suppose, without the label, but actually with Miss Varela, you weren't were you dating anybody else?
No.
Okay. Do you know if she was?
I wouldn't say dating, but like she'd be with other people.
Okay. Was this including her husband, Javi?
Yeah.
When you started seeing Hosanna, and I want to say, right, when you started seeing her, so when you started like being with her, okay, not just friends, did you know that she was married with kids?
I didn't at first.
How did you find out?
Our mutual friend.
Okay, when?
A little bit like, I'm not sure when.
Okay.
But I just remember the whole conversation coming up.
Okay, and was this after, and apologize, this is a very intimate question. Was this after, did you find out after or before you and Miss Varela had sex for the first time?
It was a little bit after.
Afterwards, okay. Do you remember kind of when things took a shift in your relationship with Miss Varela where it seemed as if we were friends, maybe there was some feelings, but then at that point, like, maybe we'll see where this goes? Was there a shift at that point? Do you remember anything happening?
Well, yeah, there was like after all that, there was a...
Okay. After all that, tell me what do you mean?
After like we officially like did stuff.
Okay. Miss Varela had talked about the Clarion, and that was the first time that you guys, had sex. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that kind of a noteworthy moment, I suppose, in your relationship for you? The Clarion?
Oh, what?
Was that like a noteworthy moment in your relationship when you guys read the Clarion?
I don't know what that was.
Yeah. So did it mean, like, did something happen at the Clarion where you were like, okay, maybe our relationship is going to a next level?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Can you explain that? What do you mean by that?
Well, like friends don't usually do that stuff. So like,
Okay.
Obviously, yeah.
It was the first time you guys were together.
Yeah.
How did you feel about your relationship after that?
It was awkward.
Why was it awkward?
Because it wasn't supposed to happen.
What do you mean?
Like we didn't plan that out.
Okay.
It just kind of was like in the moment type stuff.
Yeah. It just happened.
Yeah.
Did you guys, at that point, were you still seeing other people?
Slightly.
Okay. When you did find out that Hosanna had a husband, common law, but somebody that she referred to as her husband, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. When you found out that she did have this family and she had 3 kids, how did that make you feel?
I kind of just laughed it off. Like, I didn't really care.
Why didn't you care?
I don't know. I didn't.
Just didn't care.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Okay. When you guys started then being in a relationship, did that ever become a point where you cared that she was with a husband and kids and also with you?
Well, she had told me that she didn't want to be with him before me and her, like, made it, I don't want to say, like, official, but, like, yeah.
Okay. So was Miss Varela then telling you that she didn't want to be with her husband anymore?
Give me just a second. I'll allow that question.
Was Miss Varela telling you then, when you guys were all together, that she wanted to leave her husband? And was she telling you she wanted to be with you?
Question.
I can
I'll allow
rephrase.
I'll allow the question.
Okay. Do you want me to say it again?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
that's all right. Did Miss Varela tell you that she wanted to leave her husband and essentially leave her husband for you?
Not necessarily for me, but she already wanted to leave him before me and her were even on that kind of road.
Okay. So for you, was it a big deal that she's still had a husband with kids?
No, I didn't care.
Okay, you didn't care. That's okay. She talked a little bit about, and I don't want to get into October 2nd quite yet, but she did mention that you guys were at Cubetta's and Javi was there. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Did you see him there?
Yeah, I did.
Did you care?
No.
Did you talk to him?
No.
No. Why not?
It's just awkward. And a lot of people were coming up to us like, "Did you see Javi?" I'm like, "Yeah." But it was just like,
Yeah. Why do you think people were coming up to you and saying, "Did you see Javi?"
because it's just so awkward. When you go out and you see your ex there, like, and you're with somebody that you're with, it's just like an awkward situation in general, I feel,
Yeah. Did you ever meet Javi?
I think I don't really like know him, but I did get to meet him a few times.
Okay. What were those interactions like?
They were pretty good.
Okay.
Honestly,
Any kind of hostility between you two?
well, I mean, I would assume that he didn't like me, but I mean, he didn't act no type of way in front of me or nothing.
You said you assumed he didn't like you. Why do you assume that?
Because Hosanna would tell me
Okay, what would she say?
that he didn't like me.
Okay. Did she tell you why?
Well, he didn't like me even before me and her were on that kind of like tip.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Did you ever ask?
No, I would kind of just laugh. I was already kind of used to like, like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah. Used to what?
like, I guess like people having like that kind of, I don't want to say like, just like people like just thinking something like, just because I'm like a female that's not very like feminine and stuff like that. So they're always like, yeah, I don't know.
Can you say that again? Something, I'm not sure I heard you clearly, but something about being feminine.
Yeah, so like I feel like that like played a lot to like, because he didn't know me, like me and her like started off as friends, and that's when he didn't like me. This was before any of that happened. I don't know if he had a reason not to trust her or like, but I think it's because like I'm not very like feminine, so I feel like it's obvious that I like girls,
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you and Javi ever get into arguments?
No.
Did you ever argue with Hosanna about Javi?
No.
Were you ever frustrated that she was with Javi?
Not out like cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I kind of just felt disrespected. And so I didn't say like frustrated, but I would just be like, damn, like embarrassed kind of.
Okay. Tell us about the disrespect. Why did you feel disrespected?
I don't know, cause like I just never got like how like she would like tell me I couldn't do something, but she was over there like.
Okay. What would she go and do that she would say you couldn't do?
Just everything.
Can you give us an example?
She be with other people, hang out with other people, like just everything,
Do you feel that she limited your ability to go out with other people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just one moment, Ms. Rodriguez. I'm just going to grab something from that table. Okay.
Okay.
Stacy, I'm going to show you what's been previously admitted as Defense Exhibit RR and SS. Your Honor, permission to approach.
Yes, go ahead.
Stacy, take a minute and look through those.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. I can take them back. I might ask you just some questions about it rather than having you read them, if that works.
Yeah.
Okay. So in these RR and SS, these were Facebook messages between you and Hosanna?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. And did Hosanna ask you in these, where are you drinking at?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you say, like, why are you so worried?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Was it because she was with Javi?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't remember,
I kind of don't remember.
That's okay. That's
what.
okay. Here you go. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. So you say, you know, like, why are you worried about it? Because you're with Javi, right?
Yeah, I do believe maybe it was him. Yeah.
Could it have been somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay. Why could it have been somebody else?
Because she bees with a lot of people.
Okay. And this was while you all were together,
Yeah.
while you weren't seeing anybody else.
I was not.
Okay. So we'll put a pin in that just for a minute. Let's keep with these. So you say, why are you worried? You know, you're with like somebody else. And does she send you then in response, a text message or a Facebook message that says like a pukey face? Saw your snap.
Yeah.
And then what snap, do you remember what that was?
I was just hanging out with one of my friends.
Okay. And did you put a Snapchat out of you hanging out with your friends?
Yeah. Just one friend.
Okay, just one friend.
Yeah.
And what do you say in response to that?
After that snap,
After she says like the pukey face.
oh, I put one in your purse.
Okay. And what did you put in her purse?
A condom.
Okay. Now go to the next exhibit. And what do you say?
Me after them?
Yeah.
After she responded to that last message?
Yeah, well, after it was, so yeah, let's back up. So you say, I put one in your purse, and then what did she say?
She said, "Thank you, love. We have some."
And you said you put a condom in her purse?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what did you say after she said, "Thank you, love, we have some"?
I said, "Great. Don't be petty. We just friends, and that's maybe. You made your choice earlier, so don't give me shit."
Okay. What did you mean by, well, one, why'd you put a condom in her purse?
So she don't get pregnant, I guess.
Was it more of a
To be
joke?
careful. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny
Okay.
at that moment. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Did you mean it in a way? So did you mean it, were you trying to control her?
I was just telling her to like be careful in a sense. You know, if you're gonna cheat, at least do it carefully.
Okay, because it could come back and affect you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you told her, you know, something about her being upset and you saying, you know, like, we're just friends, why did you say that?
I just said that to clarify, like that she had no reason to be mad or feel no type of way because we were just friends.
Okay. Would Hosanna often get upset if you were hanging out with other people?
Yeah,
How often would she do that?
like all the time.
Did that change the way you interacted with other people?
Yeah, it was like more like awkward. Like I always had to like watch myself.
What do you mean by watch yourself?
Well, for when I couldn't really hang out with people by myself, so she would always like come with me. So it was like more awkward. Like I couldn't like overly like laugh or like just laugh in general. But I always had to sit next to her. So it did like impact a lot of how I was.
Okay. I want you to kind of maybe break that down a little bit for the jury. When you said you couldn't really laugh, what do you mean?
She would take that as like flirting and stuff.
Okay. If you were laughing at what somebody else said?
Oh yeah, or with them or like.
Did you guys have mutual friends?
Not really. I didn't really hang out.
You didn't really have a lot of other friends?
No, I was just kind of just very few people.
You saw Miss Alfaro testify, Karen.
Yeah.
She one of your friends?
Yeah.
One of the friends you've had for a while?
Yeah.
And is that usually how you are with your friends, whereas people you've known for a long time?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever hang out with Hosanna and her friends?
Sometimes.
What was that like?
It's just I just kind of just was there. I would just kind of stand there.
Is that usually what you would do in social interactions?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you even act that way sometimes with your own family?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. It just is the way that I am.
Okay. So thinking of these messages, did you ever tell Hosanna that she couldn't go hang out with her friends?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever want to?
What?
Did you ever want to?
Or she can go hang out with her friends?
That she couldn't.
Oh no.
So it sounds like, at one point you decided that you were not seeing anybody else. Fair to say?
Yeah.
Why? Why did you decide that you weren't going to see anybody else?
Well, it was like official without release. It was like I feel like a mutual agreement, but it wasn't like announced, I feel, but it was, we both under,
But she still slept with other people.
Oh yeah.
So was it really a mutual agreement?
Well, she said it was, so I'm like,
Did it feel like it was a mutual agreement?
for a while until she kind of.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Monica's is coming on slowly. I can see the plaque is up. I hate that I have to stop it right now. If any of you are very enthralled in this, go to Long Crimes channel. We'll keep it on. I gotta go to Monica's and finish this after Monica's, sadly. This has been pretty good and very interesting right now, so I will not be heartbroken if you can't go with me to Monica's trial. But that is where I'm going. I am so sorry. If you end up not watching this right now, come back later. I will be on here. All right. Thank you for watching.